Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who assembled here, and all glories to His Divine Guest Srila Prabhupada and to all his followers. Today is an auspicious day of the Ulta Rath, and I thought I will just glorify one devotee who was connected for a long time with Lord Jagannath. I would like to also have special prayers and your intimate thoughts for the great relief that we require for His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, who is still critical and going treatment for COVID in USA. I'm sure all of you are praying, and we presume Maharaj is going to be surely back with us by the mercy of the Lord. He's such a wonderful devotee and a great fighter. Today is also the Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, and I would like to offer my obeisances at his lotus feet and pray for his blessings for all of us. He is also one of the old stalwarts that we have, a wonderful kirtanier and preacher with so much of enthusiasm that he always takes along with him. So today, I'm just going to touch on a small topic of a wonderful Jagannath devotee who had got profound mercy of Lord Jagannath, and his name was Raghu Arakshita. This was many centuries back in Bengal. Raghu appeared as a son of Krishna Chandra Mahapatra, and his mother was Kamala. And both his parents were very wonderful devotees of the Lord, and he, of course, also. So, his father, Krishna Chandra, was an extremely pious person, and he would spend a lot of his earnings to feed the people around and welcome the Vaishnavas. It so happened that in one of those years, there was a big famine in that place. And Krishna Chandra Mahapatra, he spent most of his wealth in feeding those people who were suffering due to this famine. And he didn't even think back or look back saying that, okay, I must keep some money for my family or anything. He just didn't bother about it. He just kept on serving those wonderful Vaishnavas and the villagers around the place who were starving and into great pain. So a stage came where they were very poor now because of this issue that they had spent all the money. So Krishna Chandra decided to get his son married quickly because he knew that time was not right for him now, and he had to maybe leave his body because he fell sick with a very malignant sickness. So he got his son married to a neighboring village Zamindar, a town Zamindar, and his name was Gangadhar, and he was a very rich person also. And his daughter's name was Annapurna. So she was a very beautiful lady and very chaste and extremely pious also. So Raghu and Annapurna got married. But just a few days after the marriage, his father, this Krishna Chandra, he passed away. So when this happened, his mother Kamala also gave up her body, getting into the pyre as she committed sati. So Raghu was totally now distraught, and he was alone and not much of income for him. So every day he used to cry out to Lord Jagannath, and seek his mercy, because he had been taught by his mother and father that you should always surrender to Jagannath and take whatever mercy you want from him, and you should totally be thinking of him all the time. So Raghu, one of the nights, he was extremely in the praying mood and he was crying out to Lord Jagannath, and Lord Jagannath came into his dream and told him that, son, come to Jagannath Puri and you won't have any problem. You can stay there and you will get all the prasadam, etc. you want. So Raghu, without telling anybody, he left for Jagannath Puri. And after reaching Jagannath Puri, he was in great ecstasy. When he saw the Sudarshan Chakra from far away, he was rolling on the ground. And when he reached there, he started doing a lot of sevas, and he used to get prasadam. And days passed by, and the family here back home, where he had left without saying, were all in great anxiety. And the news reached them that Raghu was in Puri. So this news, when it came to Gangadhar, he said that this person is not going to take care of my daughter. So it's better that I get my daughter married again to somebody else. So he looked for another person, and there was a guy called Basu Mahapatra who was interested also in this girl. And they decided to get Annapurna married again. But Annapurna was not at all interested in the second marriage, and she was crying out to her parents and saying that you should not do this. But her father was adamant, and so was her mother. But in her house, there was a maid servant who was very much loving and caring, and that brought Annapurna up during her younger days. She told her that I will go personally and get this news to your husband, and I'm sure he'll come and rescue you. You give me a letter, I will take it for you. So Annapurna sends a letter through this maid servant to her husband, Raghu. He received the letter, and he read that. He was in tears because she wrote finally that in 10 days' time, if you don't come back and take me to your place, I'm going to commit suicide. So Raghu was totally distraught, and he had no way to now go back to Bengal, because in those days there was no transportation which could take you in a day, or there were no flights. You had to walk through the jungles, or if you were very rich, maybe a horseback ride, and that would surely take 20 days or 30 days max. And he was in great pain. So he decided to go and spend some quality praying time in front of Patita Pavana, just the main door of the Lord in Jagannath Puri. We know this Patita Pavana deity. So he was crying the full night, and he fell down. He was not eating for a few days, and he was intensely praying to Jagannath that please help me, please help me. So in the night when he fell down unconscious, the Lord arranged for a Vetal. Vetal is like a genie. You have heard of genies in part of the Middle East and all, where these flying carpets and all take people around. So this Vetal had a flying cot. So he picked up Raghu and flew him back to his village, where his wife was staying. And that village was called Kalavatipura. So he was just kept in front of the same house where his wife was there, and this Vetal left. In the morning, when they woke up, the brother-in-law of Raghu, he opened the door and he saw this unshaven, very pathetic looking person sleeping in front of the house. So when he looked very closely, he saw it was Raghu, his brother-in-law. So immediately he went and told Gangadhar that this guy is outside, what should we do? So Gangadhar said that please get him inside quickly, because it's going to be a shameful affair for us to face the villagers if he is found there in such a pathetic situation. So please get him inside quickly. So they brought Raghu inside the house, gave him bath, gave him new clothes, and gave him a lot of prasadam to eat, and made him look very fresh. Then, behind the scene, they were scheming now how to get rid of this guy. So they decided to kill him with poison. And after a few days, they gave him a big, huge feast. And during the feast, they made one of those favorites that you have in Orissa and Bengal, is chena poda, made from paneer. It's a paneer cake, very delicious. So they also gave that, and they put poison in that. But when this whole thing was going on, Annapurna sent a small slip in that prasadam plate to her husband that you're going to be being poisoned, so please don't eat this. But when the prasadam came, when the bhoga was, what was cooked was offered to him, he prayed to the Lord in his mind, closed his eyes, and said, "Oh Lord Jagannath, please accept this, and give me your Mahaprasadam." So after offering this, he saw the chit, and he understood that this was a poisoned food that he had offered to Jagannath, and he was extremely sad about this. He said, "Oh my God, what have I done to say, I have offered the Lord poisoned stuff?" But he said, now that the Lord has tasted this, it is the Mahaprasad, I am going to take it. And he ate the food immediately. And of course, on eating, he collapsed unconscious, and he left his body. And the whole family members of Gangadhar were very happy, and they said, now we will keep him in a room next to where he has just sat, lock it up, and in the morning we'll tell the villagers that he died due to snake bite. But Annapurna was crying throughout the night, praying to the Lord, seeking blessings, saying, please bring back my good Raghu. He is such a devotee of yours. Please help us. In the night, Lord Jagannath appears in front of Raghu and touches him for a fleeting second. And Raghu gets up, he sees the Lord like a lightning, he disappears, but he couldn't see him more. And then he was awake and as fresh, as healthy like before. So in the morning when the door was opened, this father-in-law, of course, Gangadhar, was in for a shock, and also his mother-in-law. They thought he was dead, but when they saw him live, yes, they were like, really surprised. And they said, "What has happened now that you're alive? How did you come back?" So he said, "This is what happened. Lord Jagannath came and he gave me a blessing and he has brought me back here." So there was a slight change of heart. Gangadhar asked him, "What do you want to do now?" He said, "I want to go back to Puri and I want to take my Annapurna with me." So he asked Annapurna, "Do you want to go back with him? He's not going to be able to sustain himself. So really, do you think you should go?" So she said, "Of course, father. There's no second thought about it. I don't want to stay with anybody else in my life. He's my husband and I've surrendered my whole life to him. I'm going with him." So in the morning, after the next 1 or 2 days later, they decided to go. As they were going, a scene happened behind. Gangadhar's wife was scheming and she decided not to have these people go in a very nice, pleasant way. She sent a message to Mahapatra, who was the Basu Mahapatra, and told him that my daughter is going back with her husband, Raghu. In case you want to have my daughter, it is better that you finish this guy off. Kill him. And then you can take my daughter. So the message goes there. And he sends the mercenary soldiers to tackle this people going back to Puri. As the couple was walking, they appeared, they stopped Raghu and told him, "Either you go alone or we're going to kill you right now. And you leave this wife of yours, Annapurna, and just walk away." But Raghu said, "I'm not going to do this. And same Jagannath who brought me here in a flash, who brought me and gave me back my life again, he will protect me." And there he started intensely praying to Jagannath. Intense prayer. And lo, it so happened that 2 horsemen started coming towards this mercenary soldiers. And they could see that one was very fair and another was black. The black guy was on a white horse and the white personality was on a black horse. And they were coming with ferocious speed, very big warriors and with arms, and they got really frightened. And when they came nearby, they all dispersed and they ran away. So then the Lord's mercy, they reached Jagannath Puri. So in Puri, when they reached, they started doing seva there. They started doing a lot of prayers and they helped all the devotees. Once some 21 sannyasis, sages, they came from Varanasi to Puri and they went to ask for prasadam. Like they thought they would be given prasadam. So when they went to ask for prasadam, the Jagannath Puri, there's a style, you don't get prasadam free. You have to buy your prasadam. Like if you go to Tirupati or if you go to any other holy places, at least once a day they give you free prasadam. But in Puri you don't get free prasadam. You have to buy it. So they didn't have money. And of course, when they went and asked for prasadam, they were told that we cannot give you free. But one of the Pandas told that if you are really interested in getting some free prasadam, then you go to this house where Raghu, Arakshita. Arakshita means one who has got no help, one who is totally helpless. Arakshita means helpless. So he stays there and he will surely help you all because he is such a wonderful soul. He never lets any saint go back empty-handed. So they go to his house and when they go there, he is very happy, he honors them and he talks to his wife at the side and tells that we don't have any money to feed them. There are so many people who have come, I have to give them some gifts, I have to give them some things, I have to give them some good prasadam. So how do I do it? I don't have any money. So his wife said, "Don't worry, my dear husband, when I came, you forgot that I carried some golden bangles and ornaments and a nice saris, etc. So absolutely you can go and sell it." So Raghu said, "My dear wife, Annapurna, if I go and sell it, I look so shabby. Nobody is going to believe that this is actually something which belongs to me. They'll think I have stolen this and they'll put me in jail or they'll call the policeman and there'll be more problem. So why don't you go and sell this?" So Annapurna agreed and she goes to the goldsmith's shop. Now the goldsmith's shop person, when he heard that she wanted money, he was a very lusty person. He gave a proposal to her saying that I will give you the money, but provided that you spend 1 day to satisfy me. So she was for a shock that a person staying in Puri talking to her like that. So she goes back to her husband Raghu and tells him that this is what happened. So Raghu said, see, this is all Jagannath's mercy. We have to satisfy our guests and we cannot take this aparadh of sending them back without their prasadam and without whatever they need. So as per our scriptures, we are supposed to serve with our mind, body to all the Vaishnavas that come to our place. So you please go and tell this guy that you will satisfy him, please give the money. So she goes back adhering to this request of her husband. And this person gave a lot of money to Annapurna and he was also very extremely surprised and happy. So in the night, after all the guests were gone and everything was over, Annapurna was waiting in a room for this goldsmith to come and do the needful promise that she had given. So, and Raghu was in the next room waiting in sort of anxiety, but he was continuously praying to Jagannath and extremely surrendered. And she, of course, also. So when this person came, he knocked the door and went inside to meet Annapurna. He went in and he got a shock of his life. He started wailing out, oh mother, please forgive me, what have I done? I have come to do a most abominable thing. I never thought that you are Mahalakshmi, because when he entered, he saw Annapurna sitting next to Narayan in the form of Lakshmi. So he was totally perplexed and he fell down and he started massaging the feet of Annapurna. So, and he was wailing out to her, that please forgive me, I made a big sinful thing, thinking of doing this. And he was wailing out. And at the time, Raghu heard this and he came down to the next room where his wife was, and he saw this goldsmith massaging his wife's feet, and he asked her, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? So he said, don't you see, Narayan is here and so opulent, and this is my mother, how can I even think of it? So then Raghu realized that what was happening. So the whole night, all three of them chanted the holy names of Lord Jagannath and glorified him. So today is the Ulta Rath, after the 8 days of the Lordships going to Gundicha temple. They have come back today and they are on the way back to be installed. And it's a glorious day, a very important day. So Jagannath's mercy prevails all over the place. Our ISKCON movement also started by the first deity of Jagannath, small one that were found in a store way back in the 60s, just when Srila Prabhupada was preaching there. And that was a wonderful occasion for us to have Jagannath so merciful to reach the West. And Srila Prabhupada installed the deities after making them from the same image. Shyam Sundar Prabhu had made that first deities for us on the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. And Malati Mataji was the person who found those deities. First, of course, she found a single one, Jagannath, and she came to show it to Srila Prabhupada. He said, he prayed obeisances, and he said, please look for two more. He doesn't travel alone. So she goes and finds Baldev and Subramai and brings them back. So this is how merciful Jagannath is. And the whole movement now of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, anywhere you go, any city you go, you have Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra. And enthusiastic devotees chanting and pulling the Rath. I heard that in South Africa, after the Puri Rath Yatra, this is supposed to be the second largest Rath Yatra in the world, with lakhs of people attending. So thank you again. I thought I'll just glorify this wonderful devotee Raghu Arakshita today. And best wishes to all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hari Hari Bol.